Hello and welcome to the Warshipologists. You're watching a channel devoted to the history of USS WASP CV-7, and we're looking at a story through photographs and other historical documents. In the last episode we saw WASP take to the high seas for the first time to commence builders' trials, which were viewed as a great success. In this episode we'll meet her new commanding officer. It's the 25th of April 1940. The WASP leaves the Fall River shipyard for the final time and makes her way towards South Boston Army Base for her commissioning ceremony. Today also happens to be the 52nd birthday of her new commanding officer. In an article from the Evening Star of Washington, D.C., dated the 23rd of May 1939, we learn that Commander Reeves is assigned to new aircraft carrier. Commander John W. Reeves Jr., United States Navy, has been ordered detached from duty as commanding officer of the Fleet Air Base, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and assigned to duty in connection with fitting out of the new aircraft carrier USS WASP, which he will command after her completion. Commander Reeves, who holds the rating of Naval Aviator, has been in command of the Hawaiian Air Base since last June. He makes his home in Coronado, California. During the World War he was a destroyer commander in the war zone. John Walter Reeves Jr. was born in Haddonfield, New Jersey on the 25th of April 1888 and lives just a stone's throw away from the shipyards of Camden. He graduated from Penn Charter School and was appointed to the U.S. Naval Academy by the Republican Senator of New Jersey, Frank Briggs. His nickname at the Academy was Jake, or Monk, and there's a small entry about his time at the Naval Academy in the Lucky Bag edition of 1911. A very peculiar chap is Jake. He hails from a peculiar state, so that might be the reason. A little hard to become intimate with, but once you know him, he's one of the best of good fellows. Has very original ideas in regard to ruling of the plebes. All he has to do at mess is make a few rigorous passes through the air, and you see the young gentlemen of the fourth class execute all kinds of peculiar manoeuvres, and never a word is spoken. Has ambitions among the musical line, but is generally tuning up when asked to display his ability. He's a faithful adherent to the fencing squad and is making good. Savvy to a certain degree, he never has to worry about exams and consequently absorbs a good many of the bestsellers. To Jake's artistic ability are due many of the drawings and sketches adorning these pages. Here's a picture of Reeves on the fencing team. His first ship was the destroyer USS Sampson, which he joined as an ensign in 1916. On the Sampson he took part in convoy duties in the North Atlantic during the First World War. Then there's an article in the Evening Star of Washington, D.C., dated September the 19th, 1920, and it says, "2 ordered to U.S. Lieutenant Commander John W. Reeves Jr. attached to the cruiser Olympia in the Adriatic." In 1923 he joined the light cruiser Concord, and in 1926, at the age of 40, received his first command as Lieutenant Commander of the destroyer Warden. After a brief appointment at the office of the Chief of Naval Operations, Reeves became the CO of the destroyer USS Parrott in 1928. The ship was based in the Western Pacific around the Philippines. He started a 5-year stint at the Navy Department in 1931. The arms reduction treaties, coupled with the Great Depression, made it very difficult for officers to get up the career ladder due to the dwindling size of the US Navy at this time. With his Navy career bogged down, Reeves decided to attend flight school at Pensacola, Florida. He was among a number of older officers who took advantage of the new field of naval aviation in a bid to reach the higher echelons of the Navy. To begin flight training at 48 in those days was a risk, and we have a document from the archives of the Naval Aviation Museum. It's dated the 18th of February 1936. The student's flight instruction record was carefully considered, and the following facts were ascertained. Number 1, that he has failed to make satisfactory progress in familiarization landings, in that he has been unable to pass the required recheck after 1 hour extra time granted by the Squadron Flight Board. Number 2, that on the recheck he overshot Corrie Field twice due to approaching high and fast, and did not break glide soon enough, landing on his wheels and jerking the tail down. Number 3, this student's average mark for 4 hours observed landing practice is 2.37, and his average mark for familiarization landing checks is 2.4. This is considerably below the marks attained by average students. After carefully considering the above facts, the board's opinion is that this student cannot safely be permitted to continue with the fighting plane syllabus and proceed to precision landings, as he's been unable to satisfactorily demonstrate his ability to make consistently good landings in this type of airplane. And the board's recommendation is that this student's training be discontinued. Then at the bottom there's a handwritten note the following day that says, by verbal instructions of the Department of Training, this student will be allowed up to 2 additional hours landing practice. Signed by Lieutenant Commander Geres, the senior officer on the board. In the end, Reeves became one of the oldest officers to receive his aviator's wings. With flight school finished, promotion beckoned, and he became the executive officer of the newly converted seaplane carrier Langley. After a year on the Langley, Reeves was appointed CO of the Fleet Air Base in Hawaii until his promotion to captain, after which he joined the WASP in August 1939. So Captain John Walter Reeves Jr is about to take charge of the Navy's newest aircraft carrier. He was known throughout the Navy as Black Jack on account of his black hair, and also because some officers found him to be dour and thought that he could be quite challenging to work with. However, his style of leadership had marked him out as an effective skipper worthy of respect, and for this reason he was entrusted with the Navy's latest capital ship. Join me in the next episode when the WASP enters into commission in Boston. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.